Hardcore music is a distinctly underground DIY kind of music, but over the last couple years, hardcore has been given some shine in the mainstream. Now, depending on your point of view, this could be celebrated or this could be ridiculed, and every situation kind of falls within that spectrum a little bit. And there's over a handful of them. There's like 2 handfuls of examples of hardcore going mainstream over the last couple of years, and we're going to go over them today. And they're in no particular order, but I will tell you which ones I think are cool or not. Hey, how's it going? My name is Dan Frampton. Thank you so much for kicking back with me here today. Please like the video to get it boosted, subscribe if it's your first time here, and hey, join the channel, become a member of the secret society. I could be doing a better job with members only uploads, but for now, just do it to feel good in your heart. Okay, with that out of the way, let's move on to these examples. Now, I made a whole video about this example over here. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but this is Turnstile at the Grammys. And Turnstile were one of my favorite bands, kind of all time, until Glow On came out. I wasn't the biggest fan of Glow On for a myriad of reasons, okay? But it didn't make me hate the band. I was actually stoked about their success and really happy that a whole bunch of new fans were coming. But it ended up getting pretty cringe pretty quickly. There were many Turnstile moments I was here for, but this one here isn't remembered fondly by me by any stretch of the imagination. Now, next up, we want to talk about Sanguis Sugabog is the underground kind of death metal band in a beef here with Ronnie Radke. Now, Ronnie Radke's a big mainstream guy these days, big time radio rocker, so the fact that he's now engaging in beef with an underground DIY band is another mainstream moment. And I actually think this situation is very cool, very fun, very interesting, and I like keeping up with all the chapters. It keeps unfolding. If you want to know more about this whole situation, I made 2 full videos about it. Next up, I gotta talk about Audio Tree. There are a couple other ones out there, but Audio Tree is the one I want to focus in on. They are a channel on YouTube that bring in hardcore bands. Well, they bring in bands of all different genres. For the sake of conversation, we're talking about hardcore bands. And this is the most cleanest production live performance of a hardcore band that you could ever see. It's not necessarily mainstream, but because of how many hands go into producing it, it doesn't really make it feel DIY. So when you take a strictly DIY band and put them in this kind of overly controlled environment, it makes for really interesting viewing. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. And to be honest, I couldn't get through this full scowl session over here. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe bad. Next thing I want to talk about over here is another situation I talked about on my channel. It might have been the last video that I made, actually. I was the first person to this topic. There's some hardcore drama going down, and I'm the guy making all the videos on the hardcore drama. We had the Sanity Slip, the Escuela Grind situations, everything that's going down on Twitter in the hardcore scene, drama-wise, I'm covering it. So after I make my video, I see Fantano covered the exact same story of the singer trying to steal a guy's girlfriend by force-feeding him estrogen. Mainstream YouTubers covering this niche topic. And yeah, I said YouTubers because the next day, Moist Critical covered it as well. And old Charlie over here got 1.1 million views on this thing. So on one hand, I'm like, I was there first. This was my topic. What are you doing, Moist Charlie? But then on the other hand, I'm like, you know what? 1.1 million people just got exposed to this crazy story, and that's great. I like that. And now we gotta go over here to hard lore. We got Bo, we got Colin. They are normally hosting this hardcore podcast, but here they are at the Punk Rock Museum. No, what's happening? This can't be. Oh, but it be. They do a whole tour of the thing over here. And yeah, in 2024, I consider the Punk Rock Museum a mainstream outlet, okay? There's nothing punk rock about that. That's a brick and mortar capitalism machine. I haven't watched this episode yet, but my knee-jerk reaction is this is not cool. But all of those examples, they're kind of just whatever. These next 2 examples are egregious, okay? If you want a Target variant of the new Knocked Loose vinyl coming out, well then you can do that. Yeah, not only is the vinyl available at Target, which is egregious enough, but there is a Target exclusive variant. That is crazy. Look at this thing over here. This is the Target exclusive knocked loose vinyl variant. How is that a sentence? That is crazy. That is absolutely 100 times worse than the turnstile situation. Target variant. Really? That's what you're doing? Okay, well, good on you, I guess. You're at that level where you're playing Coachella. You're getting every dude in a beanie stoked every time you release a song. Good for you out there at Target. Wonderful. This thing I think is totally whack. But one thing I want to talk about that's cool before I get onto the last, most egregious one of all are all of the Taco Bell commercials. Scowl Taco Bell commercials. Turnstile. Military gun. I love the fact that Taco Bell is embracing the punk rock culture and celebrating it. Very cool. But you saw it in the thumbnail. There's no way that you're not expecting to see this right now. Travis Barker. I haven't talked about him on the channel in a minute, but here we are. We got Travis Barker. It looks like he's backstage at a show on his way to the stage is what it looks like. Hand in hand with his wife wearing a Speed jersey. Not a fan of this. This is the wackest thing I've ever seen in my life. This is what I posted. Like I was saying, hardcore is washed. You know an entire genre has jumped the shark when a Kardashian is repping any of the bands. Now, I know that she's just wearing Travis's oversized shirt because that's the aesthetic that's going on here, but that doesn't take away from the fact that we got a Kardashian, straight up Kardashian in a Speed jersey. And before this, like yesterday even, they were one of the coolest bands of all time. After this picture dropped, their stock just plummeted through the basement. Which one is this? Is this Khloe Kardashian? Which one is Travis married to? Travis and Courtney. I bet Travis picked up this jersey when he kicked everybody out of the green room at Sound and Fury last year. Clear the space, guys. We got Travis Barker coming in. He wants to enjoy some Speed. I bet that wasn't the first time that sentence was ever uttered. So yay, hardcore's mainstream. You can expect to see all your favorite hardcore bands at Coachella. And hey, It might be opening for Paramore next year. What a time to be alive. I gotta go. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to hit the like. And if you liked it, you might like this video over here.